Yes, people. Happy New Year. This is your Lion in the Room, back again with another episode. This is the last part of our holiday special. I'm here with my father, Chief Leo Pete Edochie, and we are just going to give you some inspiring bits. But Pops, tell us, how are you doing and how have you been enjoying the holiday?
Very, very well. Thank you very much. It's been a very interesting 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Chilling with you guys.
Yeah.
I looked forward to it. I always look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, year-end, family time, like I keep saying. And it's been interesting. I mean, we've been all over the place, you and I. You know, it's been interesting.
That's good. Now it's back to work. And I wanted to know, what's been on your mind? What's the theme for this new year?
All right, like I said the last time, the new year is always a time for you to do a check. Do a kind of stock taking. Of course, after you would have thanked God for being alive, healthy, to see the new year. You take your mind back, run a check on the previous year, and see the successes and the failures. I mean, not everything would have worked out the way you wanted it. So you'd be able to say, all right, I didn't quite do a couple of things right, or a couple of things didn't quite go the way I expected, right? And that way you'll know how to go about certain things in the new year. Okay, put it this way too, how not to go about certain things. And that's just it.
That's true. I like what you mentioned, the whole stock taking, because a lot of people don't enjoy looking at their failures. It's very embarrassing. It's like a hard pill to swallow. Yeah. But truthfully, you come to understand that your mistakes only bring you closer to success. I try my best to say that, but I think it's very plain and simple, to put it out there. It's harder to follow, but your mistakes are there to show you what you can do better, what you can always do better. So stock taking is a great way to look at it, especially when you're not just throwing away that whole New Year resolution, but you're trying to kind of rewire it, work it to what you can manage, to what you prefer. So I want to just start this off by asking you, at this stage in your life, what does the new year represent to you?
Well, thank you very much. Well, first of all, every year, the way I see it, signals a new beginning, right? Why do I say a new beginning? A new beginning because it could have been worse. You could have been dead.
That's very true.
Right? You could be stuck in a hospital battling for your life. So it's a new beginning because you have the opportunity to look back at the year that just went by, right? And, do a stock taking of how your life went. And that's it. And whatever gives you the opportunity to start, not necessarily afresh, but you're starting a new year, it's January to December, same 12 months.
Yes.
It gives you that opportunity for you to, do things maybe slightly differently, right? Better than the way you did it the last time.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's true. For me, I like to give it its own particular word. So every year is a new opportunity for me to reinvent. It's not necessarily reinventing myself, but a part of myself that I want to improve in. So let's use physical fitness, for example. Maybe I didn't go as hard in the gym as I needed to last year. This time, I'm going to reinvent my plan, reinvent whatever schedule I'm going to follow, and I'm going to work on my discipline. That's where the whole reinvention comes in. Because when you invent, you create something new. But to reinvent is not necessarily making something new, but reworking or working on what was old, what didn't work before. And then instead of just throwing it away, we show everyone, we show ourselves that can be successful, that can work out well. And it's a lovely way to look at life. It's a lovely way to go about life, especially when you're a young person struggling. And I think it works. It goes to all people because everyone struggles at a different point in their life. And you just need to be able to look at everything you want to do in the year, what you were able to, what you weren't able to do last year, and carry it over, carry it over. Now, carrying this over, I'd like to ask, what do you think most people get wrong about a fresh start?
All right. There's always a tendency to try to rush over it, right? No. It doesn't work. You need to take it easy, right? Because a fresh start, a new beginning, gives you the opportunity to right the wrongs, to change your ways, change your techniques, change your approach. Don't rush into it. You need to take it easy. You need to be able to say, all right, certain things didn't quite go the way I planned, right? Then ask yourself, why? The answers will guide you towards making the fresh start.
Like holding yourself accountable?
Exactly. You have to, because most times and in most cases, these are your decisions, right? The wrong decisions that made things not to work the way you had expected them to. That's it.
Now, when it comes to being accountable, looking at the mistakes that you made or possibly what could have gone wrong in any situation in your life, a lot of people struggle with that. Normally because of fear. I think it's fear that stops a lot of people from questioning themselves because it causes you to look at your inadequacies. And it seems like a lot of people are not able to really critique themselves, or they fear seeing themselves as less of. What do you think?
All right. There's fear and there's doubt. You should never doubt, right? All right. You can fear.
It's normal to be
Do you
afraid.
understand? It's normal, but don't doubt yourself. Once you begin to doubt yourself, you begin to unknowingly hinder yourself, right? You must believe that you have it in you. You have whatever it is you need to be able to achieve success is already in you.
That's true.
So self-doubt leads to destruction. Never you doubt yourself. Never you doubt your abilities. Always believe. Even if it's taking time, right? Tell yourself, yes, it will work out. For some people, it takes longer than it takes for others.
Yes.
For some, it's shorter. But you should never doubt yourself. And I think that's it.
I agree with that as well, because doubts, it's like speaking negative words to yourself. The Bible says it, the words are powerful. Whatever comes out of your mouth can become reality. So when you doubt yourself, you find yourself doubting your abilities, doubting and calling yourself names. You go to your mirror and all you see is negativity.
That's true.
Unfortunately, all you will put out is going to be negativity.
Correct.
And that's something a lot of people need to understand. It's a shame, but everyone goes through it in life. You have your hard times, you fall, but you need to be able to get back up.
Exactly.
Now, it's always good to have a conversation with an older individual because experience is key. Experience is very important in a life. And I want to use this opportunity to ask, based on your experience, what are 3 actions that genuinely help someone start the new year right?
First of all, I believe in God, and I always put God out first.
Your faith, exactly.
And if I'm going to advise anyone, young people, middle-aged, older, I'll have to start with God. So first and foremost, believe in God. Cast all your hopes in God. God created us, Alpha, the Omega. So what it means is God is watching. So you have to, first of all, trust in God. Trust the process. God has a process for every one of us. That's why He created us. So that's number 1. Then number 2, there's something I said the last time. You need to be able to focus. You see, a lot of people, young people, lose track, right, by their inability to focus, which means you're about to do something, probably try to correct certain mistakes, and somewhere along the line, you lose track of it. It's a problem. Focus on it so that you'll be able to tell yourself, all right, there are a few mistakes I made, the last year, previous years in the past. I wouldn't make them any longer. I have to be this way, right? And then afterwards, you have dedication. You need to be dedicated to your work, dedicated to your craft, dedicated to your vocation, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You've got God, focus, dedication. Dedication means you have to tell yourself that I'm waking up every day to put in all my energy into this. There are no 2 ways to it, no shortcuts to it.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Faith, focus, and dedication.
Yeah.
That's good. Dedication can also be seen as discipline. Right?
Of course.
Yeah, discipline. Because discipline is very, very essential. It's just like, you wake up in the morning and you make your bed.
Yeah.
If you're dedicated or you're disciplined enough, you then find yourself more eager to clean your room, for example. So I do agree with you. It's very important. It's something that a lot of people struggle with because they, when you worry, you feel as though you don't have time. You feel as though there are so many things that are going to take up most of your day. So you then decide to put whatever you think is not as important to the side. So when you work on discipline and you dedicate your time to what is truly important, you end up working better, feeling better.
That's
Plus, having your faith in God also helps because during the hard times, you start to understand that hard times will always come, but they will come when you know you're making progress and you're making good progress.
Absolutely.
Now, let's move over to golf because I always like to get to know a bit more about how you got into the sport. You've been playing it for a while now, and I would like to know what you really enjoy about the sport.
Golf, for people my age, combines two very critical elements. You've got the game, right, which is the game of golf.
Yes.
Then you've got the exercise part of it. The game of golf is very interesting. Golf is addictive. Why? Because it's the only game that you're playing against yourself and the course. Now, what it means is, I'll give you an instance. A 72 par course, right? Today you play 80. The following day you play 82. The next time you play 75. So it's against yourself and the course. Remember, you're playing with the same clubs and you want to achieve better results with the same clubs. For instance, if your driver gives you 250 yards, for instance, right? And it's a 450 yards hole. You want that driver to go further than 250. You see what I mean? You're playing against yourself and the course. So you could strike that driver today and it gives you 250. Tomorrow, it gives you 200. The next day, it gives you 265. This is what golf is all about. Now, this is for the game. Then, for the exercise, you're walking, you're swinging. You can't beat it. Because every day you get on that course, you are exercising.
It's like a full body exercise.
That's it. Then cardio, most importantly. It helps your heart function very, very well. Your lungs as well. All parts of your body. So you've got the game and you've got the exercise. So both of them put together, you can't beat it.
Now, a lot of people like to call it a rich man's sport. Normally, it is. You find a lot of rich company owners having their meetings, they go there because you don't necessarily need to rush to make a move. Like basketball is very fast-paced, football very fast-paced, rugby very fast-paced, maybe cricket, but golf seems to be a sport where you are allowed to take your time. And I mean, if you don't take your time, you end up having a bad stroke, a bad shot. I wanted to ask, what has golf taught you about patience and discipline that life couldn't teach you in the same fashion?
All right. Golf, remember you're playing 18 holes, right? And each hole has a score. Golf teaches you to try to make the best of your next shot, which means you could strike a shot, right? Swing. It's not so good. No problems. Try to do better with your next shot. And that's why you have 14 clubs, right, in your set. And each club gives you different distances when hit well. And that's basically life. So you hit one swing now, right? And it doesn't give you what you had anticipated. You choose what will give you that. So basically, in life, you try something, right? Or something happens and it's not exactly what you expected. Don't lose sleep over it. Try to make something better out of it. Try to improve on it. And that's what life is all about. Golf teaches you that.
Trying to make the best out of every opportunity.
Absolutely. So I mean, you could wake up today, right? And the day, for whatever reasons, doesn't go well for you. No problems. Go to bed,
Yeah.
end of day, thank God. Wake up in the morning and tell God that today will be better than the other day. And that's it.
And you find something else to use.
That's just
to make
golf for
that
you.
day better for you. That's nice. That's good. I really like the patience of it because a lot of times, because a lot of sports are very fast paced, you have to think very quickly as well. You have to move quickly, you have to act quickly, or you might either get a turnover in basketball or they score you in football. But with golf, everyone can wait for you. You know, I've watched you play and some of the friends that you have there, you know, everyone's going to wait until you take that shot so that you can take your best shot or at least you can make the best out of the opportunity that you have.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy the most about playing with your friends, peers, colleagues, and even work partners as well?
All right. It's look, first of all, I mean, when you're playing golf, you've got hours, right? And it's not just about hitting the ball. You have the networking, right? And the camaraderie aspect of it, because you're talking, you guys are sharing experiences. That's why golf is best enjoyed when you're playing with contemporaries,
Yeah.
with your peers, people who you can discuss anything with. So you can talk about, problems with work. You can talk about problems with your health. You can talk about anything. So the fun is you're going to be with these guys for hours. So discuss anything. Now, you will be shocked that what you've been trying to figure out solutions for might just be very easy for one of the guys who's playing with you. I'll give you an instance. Someone says, oh, there's this project I have, and I've been thinking of where to hire a certain equipment. And your friend says, come on, why don't you call Mr. This? Why don't you ask from this company that the last time he had need for that, this is how he got yours. And that's it. That's what golf does for you. Unlike any other sport where you hardly have time to discuss. With golf, everyone is taking it easy. And while you're playing, you are interacting. And that's the fun of it.
Easy going. That's nice. What did you think golf would be like before you started? And what surprised you once you actually played? Everyone has their own interpretation of a sport and what you assume it's going to be like. Truly, I thought golf was boring. You know, maybe it's because I'm still a young guy and I didn't get into it very early, but it just didn't seem that interesting. I loved the fast-paced sports. I think Nazar even watches F1. You know, my sister watches F1 as well, you know. So what did you think it was like and what did you get to understand?
I thought it was going to be easy.
You thought it was going to be easy as well?
Yes, because, I mean, you're looking at the ball. The clubs are there. Hit it. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Only for me to discover that it needed a lot of precision. Starting from your stance, the grip, the swing, it wasn't easy. So what I thought was going to be easy, strike the ball and it just keeps moving, I ended up finding out that golf is one of the most difficult sports ever. And that's because people tend to underrate it until you're given the club and someone says, all right, hit that ball this distance. Then you realize that golf isn't easy. So I thought it was going to be easy until I started. And by the time I started, I found out that golf is one hell of a game. Yeah.
When you look at the experience you've gotten now, playing with your friends, your peers, I know some of your friends as well, confidence question. Are you better than all of them or you're still...
No, certainly not. Certainly not. But you see, golf is not all about how well, as much as how much do you enjoy it. Because you can play well today without really enjoying the game.
You think so?
I'll tell you how it works.
Technique is everything,
No.
though.
I'll tell you how it works. You're paired, with some friends, and someone just keeps pissing you off. You might end up playing well, but you won't have enjoyed the game.
But
Now, you could be paired with, a couple of guys who are fun to play with. You end up not playing well, but you would have enjoyed their company.
okay,
Do you understand?
Yeah, sure.
That's exactly how it works.
So you appreciate the company more than how well you play,
Of
as long as
course.
it's not a competitive one. As long as it's not a competitive game.
What we play is more or less recreational golf. Not so competitive. It's recreational golf. It's golf for fun, put it that way.
How do you think you'd play if it was competitive? Eyes
If
on
I
the ball?
if I had started earlier than now, yeah, probably, yeah, because I mean the professionals get to start early. That's it. So
Have
you
you?
start early, you develop the techniques, you master the game,
Yeah.
right, and you'll be able to do very well competitively.
Okay. Okay. Now, just a regular question though. Have you ever gotten a hole in one? Because I've seen a lot of hole in ones. I mean, you need to be skilled to get that, but it would be nice to know if the celebrity golfers
Yes,
had
I
that
have.
before.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
on the par threes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Twice, I think. Twice. Yeah, and it was a lucky shot. Yeah, because no one looks forward, no one strikes hoping to make a hole in one. The idea is to get the ball on the green for a par three, right? And, luckily it goes into the cup. So it's happened to me twice and it was interesting.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna call it luck though. Let's call it skill. Let's call it.
Well, a combination of both skill and luck.
Sure, celebrity golfer. I'd call it skill, technique, yeah, a little bit of luck there. Now we can move into growth because I believe in everything you do, there's always going to be room to grow.
Yeah.
But as a person, you still have to make those choices to grow positively. How has your understanding of growth changed over the years?
All right. As growing up, of course, as a younger man, everyone is in a hurry. I mean, you want to be successful, you want to be able to afford certain things. But when you get older, you understand that growth does not necessarily revolve around successes, right? Now, remember, growth is not instant. It's not a one-day thing. Growth is a process,
Yeah.
right? And getting older, I've come to understand that you need to soak in all aspects of your life to be able to actually dissect and understand growth. Reason being, you might be successful financially and not doing well with your family.
True.
Do you understand? So, technically, are you growing? So it's more lopsided, kind of. You think you're growing in a particular direction,
But you're not
but you're
growing in the other
exactly.
side.
So you need to try to harness everything around you, and no matter how slow it appears, provided it is steady, you are growing, and that's what I've learned over the years, especially as one gets older and more matured.
Good. That's very insightful because you come to see that there are a lot of people, big names, they have a lot of money. It seems like the status, their names are right with the moon and stars, but they lack in so many other places.
Of course.
Because of what they've prioritized, it's caused a lot of young people, young men, young women to focus, to prioritize status, money, fame, power.
Yeah.
And when they're at a point where they can actually look back at everything they've done, they find out that they weren't happy with the choices that they made.
Exactly. Because they prioritized wrongly. That's it.
What did growth cost you before you understood it properly?
Well, I'll refer to it as not aligning properly. Right? Okay, look at what I mean. You spend all your time chasing after something, right? And something else is lacking behind.
Yes.
Remember, now, every human being is operating within an ecosystem, right? So at any point in time, you're never alone. You've got yourself, then you've got dependents, right? And the dependents can be as many as possible. Depends on your person, depends on where you're coming from, and what you're carrying, right? Your family, extended family, friends, co-workers, office workers, etc., right? So the idea is try as much as possible to strike a balance, right? Like you said, prioritize. Always try to tell yourself certain things will matter more than others.
Yeah.
You might spend so much time chasing after money, for instance, and forget to, look into what's going on with your aged parents. And these are people who raised you. They are now old, retired. You need to constantly keep an eye on them. So if you spend all that time running after money because you believe that's the success that you need, and you deny them that time, what do you think happens?
Probably miss out on some guidance or something.
Exactly. So you need to try to create a balance. Your age folks, your direct family, your dependents and all that. Create a balance.
So as a young person now, in making that balance, it's just trying to make time for what's important and not trying to do everything.
Exactly.
Or focus on one thing.
That's it.
Okay, not to focus on one thing.
Don't focus on just one thing, right? I'll put it this way. Rather than giving one thing 90%, right? Probably give three things 50%. So that way you're actually carrying everything along. So that you don't achieve success, in quote, and losing out on so many other areas.
True.
And that's it.
I like that. Yeah, I agree with that, because you can be building up fame and financial accrual for yourself, but you're not really building up generational growth, generational wealth.
And eventually you're going to end up very unhappy.
True. Because you see what other people have and you still feel like you're lacking.
Yeah, you feel inadequate.
Inadequacy comes for a lot of people, but the worst time for it to come is when you feel like you did everything right, because it can really affect your mental. Imagine a person who has prioritized the wrong things, but to him it was right. He gets to a point and he sees another man happy. Someone got to tell me about what wealth truly means. And it fell along the lines of being content with what you have. Yeah. Because if you're content, then that means that it satisfies your needs. You have a car. It may not be a Lamborghini or a Urus, but it gets you to where you need to go. And every time you leave that car, you leave with a smile on your face, not really telling yourself, oh, I wish I had a bigger Jeep. Unless it's what you need for maybe like family trips or helping people move things around. You come to understand that, or at least I've come to understand that it's always better to take some time, think, look at your life and ask yourself what you need, and then sometimes even what you want.
Yeah.
You talked about finances and not spending money when you can't afford to buy it again.
That's true.
And that's something that a lot of people don't get to hear, because you see a lot of people just flaunting their riches, flaunting the friends that come because of those riches, and you don't get to see what life is like when they're on their own.
That's true.
It's an illusion in a sense. Now, these are some deep questions I have for you now, but I'd like to ask, if someone listening feels stuck at the start of the year, what would you want them to understand about growth, patience, and enjoying the process? Because, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Remember, you must be able to create a balance. Like they say, a work-life balance. Nobody should just work. No, you're going to burn out. So find time to do other things in between, right? Things that can give you some form of, satisfaction, relaxing. It could be sports. It could be going to the gym. It could be playing Scrabble. It could be playing games, right? It shouldn't just be work, right? So that's it. Now, the advice I'll give to anyone who is struggling at the start is be patient. Remember, like they say, all fingers are not equal. So it mustn't be as fast as you want it to be. It mustn't be. Sometimes, there's a divine reason for the slow pace, for the delay. Provided you're still seeing you're hopeful because you're on the right track. Take it easy.
That's good. Why do you feel a lot of people tend to rush? Because we always hear slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. The story of the tortoise and the hare. We still get to see a lot of people who take, the negative route, the fast route, and they end up on top for the moment. But why do you think a lot of people struggle with taking it easy?
Negative competition.
Yeah,
because you're looking at certain people and you want to impress them. You want to be like them. You want to live like them. That's it. Not minding and not knowing the problems they have beyond what you see.
Or what they did to get to where they are.
Exactly. Everyone has issues. Like they say, everyone. You don't write it on the forehead. So if all you're seeing from your friends are the financial successes, what you're able to achieve with money, right? The guys just might have very serious medical issues, very
That's true.
serious ailment, but you don't get to know. So don't envy anyone. Don't try to compete. Yeah, competition is good, but let it be healthy, which means don't go beyond yourself. Don't do things that will portend a lot of problems for you in future. Take it easy.
Great, great. Man, I really enjoyed the time that we've had being able to do these podcasts, part 1, part 2, part 3. And after this, you'll be going back to work. You know, life continues. And I just wanted to use this opportunity to say thank you, of course, for coming on. I know you always say like you promised me and stuff, but it's nice. It's a full circle moment. Like I even said in the first episode, having my dad in my space where I'm doing my work. And I believe that you're truly leaving like proper advice for those that are listening. Even for me, you know, I try to listen to you, you know, when I can and things like that. But it's great. And it's great. I'm just gonna keep moving on, honestly. Now, the final question for you, Pops, is if you could sit across from your younger self, you know, a younger Leo Sr. at the start of the new year, what truth would you want him to hear?
Very simple. Patience.
Patience.
You see, because the average young person is always in a hurry. Yeah.
You were in a hurry as well?
Of course. So many people, a lot of friends of mine. Patience. Take it easy. Plan well. Plan better. Because when you plan well, you plan better. When you plan better, you make fewer mistakes. Take it easy. Now, back to what you said before you asked me the question. I'm in your space. And I'm enjoying it. And I enjoyed it. And I am proud of you. All right. Like they always say, and I need to say it, not just to you and for viewers to hear, the only person who genuinely wants you not just to succeed, but to be better than him is your father. That's the truth. Not a brother, not a sister, not a friend. It's your father. So watching you grow, watching you do your thing, doing it exceptionally well, gives me a lot of joy. Like I keep saying, it runs in the family. You've got the gift of the gab. You have a perfect command of the language. You have the presence. And of course, you're doing the hard work. It will pay off. It must certainly pay off because hard work pays.
Amen. No, I do believe that. Honestly, thank you, Pops. Thank you very much. You know, just you being proud of me is enough. Honestly, like that's like giving me the riches that I need. That's very good. Now, when I look back at my life, if I had to talk to a younger Leo, a younger Leo Jr., I would definitely tell him to slow down because I struggled with relationships with friends, you know, seeing what other people had, you know, what seemed nice. I wasn't necessarily jealous, but it always felt as though I was lonely. I would tell a younger Leo to focus on what he has because what he has is good enough. Yeah. What he has always been good enough. And to trust God, ask questions, and when you're having a hard time, say you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
I always used to keep things to myself. I sometimes still keep things to myself because I don't want to overburden someone. I don't want to stress people out. I don't know why I always do that. It just made me feel as though like I can handle it on my own, and like two, you know, maybe I don't need to stress people with that problem. But I would definitely tell a younger Leo to not be afraid, of those things because it will mar me in the future. It will cause me harm in a sense where I won't know where to turn. I won't know where to get proper direction from. I always remember in my junior school, however it was you were talking to me, you know, you still told me to ask questions. I didn't understand because there was that fear. What if they just laugh at me? What if the teacher, you know, berates me or things like that? So junior school, I didn't do any of it, and it showed. Now, getting the opportunity to move into secondary school was like I mentioned, the reinvention, looking back at what failed and showing that it can work. and confidence came gradually. Confidence came. So yeah, I would definitely tell a younger Leo to trust God, to not be afraid, to not worry about what another person is doing, and to love yourself, to love himself, and you definitely be better for it. You definitely be better for it. But yeah, this has been good, Pops. This is really been
Thank you
good.
very much. And to every young person out there, look inwards. Whenever you look inwards, you see greatness.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen. But yeah, people, that's all it is, honestly. Like, you've had 3 episodes of me and my dad. I feel like he's been the one carrying the episodes. You guys know who you're looking to see. But like I said, man, I don't even have any more words, man. This has been great. People, the new year's here. Regardless of what you've seen in the news, regardless of what you're hearing, you are the one who gets to decide what happens in your life. You are the one who decides how you move, but move with knowledge. Correct others in love and stand on the pedestal that God set for you. Everyone here is a child of God, regardless of what you think you know. Truly, seek out the knowledge. There's nothing wrong. You don't lose anything from it. With Lion in the Room, we're going to continue to bring you more episodes. That's something that is part of my resolution, my stock take. And eat healthy, do better for yourself, love your family, love your friends. There have been hard times, forgive yourself, forgive others. Do what is right for you. Like my father said, look inwards. Do not be afraid. What's the worst that's going to happen? Truly. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Exactly.
But like I've said, this has been Lion in the Room. I am your host with the most, Leo Edochie Jr. This is my father, Chief Leo Pete Edochie, the man of stone, the boulder himself, the only person that has been in my corner, aside from my mom. She's like my ringside, but...
And I'll be there forever.
Amen.
I love you, son.
I love you too, Pops. People, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs advice. Share this with a friend. Share this with your mom and your dad. Let them get advice and insight from my pops. But yeah, this is everything, people. The next episode you're going to see are going to be me. But if you'd like to see my dad again, we might do like a little Zoom. Might do a nice little Zoom call. Who knows? But do not forget to show yourself some love. Show others love. If you see something that's wrong, correct. But correct in love. And live boldly. Because like I always say, I'm not the only lion in this room, man. You're there too. God bless you guys. Take care and peace.